In this lecture, we are going to write the code for the other event handlers. So the way it's going to work, I'll write the piece of code and I'll explain it just to save us a bit of time. So we've already written the code for the show picture button. Next, we're going to write the code for the clear picture. So I'll click on the code and look for the clear picture button. So this is a clear picture button, and in between these curly braces here is where we will specify the code. The clear button basically is going to be used to clear the picture. So when someone clicks on the button, it should clear the picture. And the code is just going to be one line of code. So I'm going to type in picture box, which is the name of the picture box, dot. You see these IntelliSense icons. Once, anywhere you see this icon that looks like a spanner, that is known as a property icon. If you see the one that looks like a lightning bolt, that is an event icon. If you see any that looks like a diamond, that is a method icon. So let's carry on writing the code for the clear button. So I'm going to attach a method to that picture box, and the method, just type in image. I'm going to assign a property. I'm going to assign the image property to that picture box. So what I'm saying is that when an image is attached to that picture box, I want to set the value to null. Null means nothing, unknown. So I've set it to null, which means empty. So we've got the code for the clear button, clear picture out of the way. Next, we're going to set the code for the set background color that will enable the background color to be set before the image is uploaded. So let's move up the chain. So this is where we'll set the background button for the color. So what we're going to establish here, we want the color dialog box to show. So when someone clicks on that button, it will bring up a color palette that the user clicks on to change the background color before the picture is actually loaded into the picture box. So I've written the code here, which is this piece of code here, just to save time. This highlighted code here. So what I'm saying here, if the color dialog box, this is the dialog box that will bring up the color palette, and I've attached the show dialog method. So we're saying that if that is strictly equals to the dialog result, and once they've clicked OK, it will display the color, it will bring up the color palette. Once they've selected it, it will apply that to the picture box background before the picture is loaded. That's basically what that piece of code is saying. Next, we're going to write the code for the close button. So when the close button is clicked, the application will exit. So here in between the curly braces is where we'll specify the code for the close button. This is a straightforward code. We just type in this dot close. So there should be a method that goes with that. If I scroll through, there you go, that's the method. And all methods must be enclosed in parentheses and a semicolon. So that's basically, this here refers to the current instance of the image, so, or the application. It refers to the state at that time. So once the visitor or anyone click on the close button, it will close the instance of that program. Finally, we need to write the code for this checkbox. So we'll just go down here. So we'll specify the code here. All right, so I've written the piece of code here for the checkbox. So basically what this code is saying is that if the user selects the stretch checkbox, they change the pictures box, it will be able to change the pictures box, it will change the size mode and the property to stretch. So it changes the picture size property mode to stretch. However, if the user clears the checkbox, it changes to normals. Okay, so let's go back and look at, so this is the checkbox. So if it is checked or if it is ticked, then it enables the image to be stretched. If it's not ticked, it returns to normal. That's basically what this code is saying. So I've used a conditional statement here. So the if is saying that if this checkbox 1 is checked, execute this piece of code here. That means enable the size of the checkbox or the image to be stretched. So he activates this, which means you can stretch the size of the image. If the checkbox is not checked, it will execute this. That means the image will be normal without being stretched. That's basically what that statement is saying. Anytime you see yellow strip within your Visual Studio, it means the code has not been saved. So to save the code, click on this folder here that says save all, and let's test our application. One very important thing of writing programs is to test as you go along, because by testing you're able to catch any bugs or errors are known as bugs. You can catch any errors in the code before the code or the program is available for public use. So click on start and that should run the program. So if there's any error, it will not build the program. Excellent. So this is a good sign because there's no errors at all. If you're testing or running your application inside Visual Studio, it is known as debugging. So it's kind of like your own private sandbox or area to test the application is working properly before it is deployed. So let's test the buttons and see. So let's click on the show picture button. Notice it gives us the gallery. So let's go to some of my sample pictures. I'll select that. I'll click open. And if I click on this, that should clear the picture. So if I can set a background color, it gives me the palette. I'll select that, click OK. Now I'll go back, select an image, position it. I can click to stretch. You notice it's stretched, take it off, goes back and close. So the application is working as designed. If you've got this far and if you test okay the way I've tested mine, congratulations, well done. So that's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.